Shane, how's the bump on your head?
The bump's okay. It's more I've just got a bit of a cork in my neck more than anything. It certainly got me thinking about something else apart from the nervous 90s and trying to get through that. So just thinking about more trying to get my neck around to be able to get my eyes to be able to see the ball. So probably worked out well in the end.
So is it still sore? You got a headache?
It's more I've just got a bit of a stiff neck more than anything now. I was very lucky that it really got me in a good spot. It got me in the muscle, so it's more just a bit of a cork.
How did it feel when you got the three figures, Shane? Because it's been a lot written, I suppose, and said about how long it had been since you've got there.
Of course, it's a big relief to be able to get 100. There's no doubt about that. But like for me, the most important thing has been able to try and bat for a long period of time. And I've worked very hard, and I've had some very good people helping me out over the last probably 6 weeks, really, to be able to get myself into a place where I can give myself a chance to be able to bat for a long period like that. It was a really good wicket for us to be able to win the toss on that wicket. Certainly, if we can put in a really big total in that first inning, certainly going to give us a good chance of winning this Test match. But to be able to bat for a long period of time in an Ashes Test like that, certainly been working hard to be able to try and give myself a chance to be able to do that, and it's nice that it worked out today.
Shane, you've copped a bit of criticism about your batting in this series. Is that something that's affected you, or do you just try to ignore it?
To be honest, I've not read one thing, so yeah. Look, I know how the game is. If I'm not performing, I expect people to be able to write things that certainly are complimentary. But I've certainly stayed away from it because I'm honest with myself. I know I've certainly had a lot of things to work on, especially one thing in particular, technically. So I've had a lot of soul searching more than anything throughout this last month, especially, more than any other stage throughout my whole career, to be able to find a way to be able to give myself a chance to be able to bat for longer periods of time and not keep getting out the same way. So I've certainly stayed away from it because I'm very critical of myself anyway, so I don't need anything compounding it even more.
Shane, did your eyes light up a little bit when you saw they picked Kerrigan after you took after him in the tour game, and sort of seemed immediately you're looking to get after him?
You can say yes.
Yeah, no. Look, knowing that he was going to play in this, once the toss went up and knowing he was going to play, I certainly understood what he was going to bowl to me. And and after the last tour match, I certainly had a game plan of what I was going to do, and I sort of followed on from that in this innings.
It's a similar sort of question.
Were you surprised, Shane, by England's selection?
Yeah, I was actually. I was expecting Tremlett to play, to be honest. He had quite a lot of success against us in Australia. In the last Ashes series, he bowled beautifully the games that he come in, Perth, Melbourne and Sydney. So I was certainly expecting him to play, more so than Wokes or Kerrigan. But in the end, they've obviously got their reasons why they're picking those guys, and I'm certainly a bit happier than I have to face a guy who's about 6'8", bowling balls that are bouncing up into your splice all the time. So I'm certainly not complaining.
Shane, given sort of this is the last test and what before the next series and what Michael said about the batting after the last game, did you feel any extra pressure today walking in the middle and trying to guarantee your place for the next series?
Well, I honestly didn't know what Michael had to say, so in the end, all I know is I have to score runs. I've been one of the top six batting throughout this whole series, and I certainly haven't scored the runs anywhere near that I wanted to be able to score to be able to help the team perform. I knew opening the batting was going to be really important for me to be able to score runs, and I wasn't able to do that. So look, I knew that I had to score runs, and that's why I've been working so hard on over the last month to be able to give myself the best chance to be able to try and put an innings together like I did today, and like you always do, you need things falling your way in an innings, and I certainly had that today as well to be able to get me through certain stages of my innings. But in the end, cricket's a performance-based game, and if if I'm not scoring runs or taking wickets, then can't expect to get picked.
Yeah, and you mentioned sort of batting 1 to 6. You've obviously moved around the order a lot this year. Number 3, is that the position you want to bat? And if so, is it important now that you're given the sort of long run in that position?
Honestly, it doesn't really worry me. I certainly do love taking on the quicks with a brand new ball. There's no doubt about that. But in the end, I did enjoy batting at 6 in that last Test match as well. So they provide different challenges. But I've been very lucky throughout my career that I have batted in a lot of different positions in Test matches, one-day cricket, especially. So I feel like when I get my pad out of the way, I've got more of a chance to be able to adjust to the conditions and batting wherever it is.
Shane and both of them said that you thought Kerrigan had actually got the yips in that second spell. Did you go as far as to say that happened? And did you sort of sense his tension and his nerves?
You could definitely sense that he was very nervous, especially after those first couple of overs. There's no doubt that in your debut, it's extremely nerve-wracking, especially if someone does get after you in your first couple of overs. You are trying to find your feet in international cricket, especially in an Ashes series. So, yeah, you could definitely sense that he was under pressure through those, especially in his second spell. But he certainly will learn from it. You are pretty much exposed out there. You're on your own. Just with 10 other players around you, so you try and find a way to be able to get through situations like that.
Shane, is it a little bit, you played so well today, is it a little bit of a sort of a bittersweet feeling that you played so well when that series is gone, that you weren't able to get a little sooner when the Ashes and the series were on the line?
Of course, I'd give anything to have been able to score runs any more than at the start of the tour, at the start of the series, no doubt. It's only a consolation more than anything, because the most important time was in those first 3 Test matches, and I wasn't able to do that. And certainly, as I said, I've had a lot of soul searching to do, because I knew how important to set up the series, especially how important it was for me to be able to score runs as a senior player in this team, and I wasn't able to do it. So I've certainly been asking myself a lot of different questions over the last 5 Test matches about where I'm at with my cricket, and it's nice that I've been able to put it together, and but it's not so nice that it's taken so long for me to put it together. That's for sure.
Shane, your 100 today is the first 100 Australians scored at number 3 in 2 years or something like that. Do you think it's the position that Australia most needs to get right? It's such a pivotal spot. Do you think that could fix a lot of problems if there can be a bit of stability there?
Honestly, I think any position to batting you need to be able to score runs whether it's 1 through to 6 especially. You need to be scoring runs in all positions. So look, I don't think 3 is any more pivotal than opening the batting or batting 4 or 5 or 6. I think the batsmen in general, we have to be scoring runs in whatever position we bat to be able to set up a game like hopefully we can tomorrow as well. We know how important it is to be able to get a big total in the first innings, especially. It's going to be more difficult in the second. So I think wherever I bat and wherever any of the top 6 batsmen bat, you have to be scoring runs. There's no question.
Shane, it's quite a lively build-up to the game with Darren Lehman's interview that you gave on radio. Was there any chat about that in the dressing room, or what's your reaction to what's come out about Stuart Broad when he returns to Australia?
What was that exactly? Because I haven't read anything. I've stayed away from it on purpose.
Sorry, it's before me as well. Basically, it was a tongue-in-cheek kind of radio interview, but basically said he encouraged the fans basically to give Stuart Broad a bit of a hard time down under, and maybe he will be the pantomime villain for the fans for the return series. So it was a bit of a controversial sort of build-up.
Really? Well, I'm happy with that. Saves it. We can deflect it from the Aussie team anyway, so we're definitely happy with that, because even last time in the Ashes series at home, especially day 4 and 5, it seemed like we're playing in England with all the Barmy army floating around. So if they're happy to go at their own, then I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, you you get these pantomime villains. Obviously, David Warner's copped a bit here. Do you think almost because of what's happened in this series, probably Stuart Broad was going to have that kind of role anyway when it goes down?
Yeah, and I'm happy with that.
Thanks for that.
Jacqueline, last two.
Shane, when you got hit, was there any suggestion that you might actually come off the field? And when you said you talked about concentrating on seeing the ball, was that genuine? Were you having difficulty with your eyesight?
Oh no, I could see the ball. Yeah. No, there's once. Once I realised that it was just it hit me in the my neck more than my skull, and I didn't lose my vision or anything at that stage. So in the end, as I said, it was more a cork neck. So it was more so just trying to get my head around and my neck around to be able to get my eyes level, which has been a bit of a problem in the last 4 or 5 test matches because my head keeps falling over. So I have to make sure that I need everything I can get to be able to make sure my head's around. So I just took a few balls to be able to sort of get my feeling back again to make sure my body was in the right position.
Have you had a more frightening moment on the cricket field, Shane? Have you had a more frightening moment on the cricket field against that?
Well, in the end, it got me in a good spot. So you can get hit in different spots, and sometimes you get lucky, and other times you get unlucky. And I was certainly lucky today when I got just more so just in the muscle more than anything. So I wouldn't say it was scary. It's more so just you got to, for a split second, you got to find out exactly where it's hit you, and once I realised where it was, get on with it.
Shane, you seem to have established a really good relationship with Chris Rogers. Can you just describe what it's like batting with him, and why do you think it's been so effective, you two together?
Yeah, that's one of my biggest disappointments on this whole tour, is actually not been able to stay opening the batting with him, because I certainly loved opening the batting with him and batting with him in general. He's a very composed guy. He's got a great perspective on the game, on batting in general and my batting. So I do. I really love batting with him. He gives me a great perspective on where I'm at and how I'm going, ball after ball. And he's certainly in control of his game, as he's shown throughout this whole series. He's an experienced campaigner. He knows his game inside out. So when you have the privilege to be able to bat with someone like that, which I have been very lucky throughout my career, you certainly want to make the most of it.